Hello everybody, it's Philipp Druzhinin from Moscow. Today I wanted to talk about some interesting information which I received, and but I had got one question which stopped me from doing the video about this, and I needed to make another video about March Madness because the question was concerning star forts, and one person was asking me what is the reason that all those star forts videos get say get so difficult to see. That's what he said. When you go to a New Earth channel, for example, you see all that gray screens, and when you select one of them, it never runs. So I don't know why he put such comments. Probably my video is not very good. Understanding that it's hard to understand what is gas empire. Let's just talk on the example of what's going on right now, because as I've said before, if we want to see the real reasons of what happened in 19th century, what changed the world, what changed the developing of this world, we should look at the modern time, because it shows us perfectly what we are, what we see right now shows us perfectly what was happening that time. So if you look at the Stratford, it's a so-called global intelligence agency. It has its website and it has some videos on the internet. If you look at this videos, you can see the information about so-called German-Russian security cooperation. And in fact, this video shows that they were concerned about it in 2010 and 2011 when this video was made. So they were concerned about cooperation in security. And Stratford is an American security agency. So when it gives such a report, gives such a video and article, their resources, they mean that Russia and Germany started cooperating, and this is probably the case that they should integrate and prevent this situation. Because if they talking about security questions, security topics in 2010, it's very hard for United States to get as much as they can from staying in Europe as an army, as a not NATO ally with full charge of military resources. If Germany and Russia would be talking about security questions at that certain point, meaning that Putin is definitely not the case for globalists, and Merkel is sure was to be bringing Germany as a EU ally of the US. If Germany was leaning to Russia, would be leaning to Russia and to cooperation with Russia, there would be no chance for US to stay. And certainly Germany would try to step out of the globalist slavery, which it is right now in, and every German knows that it's just not a country, just a corporation. It's just GmbH, so-called GmbH, and they have they don't have some this type of what we know as passport. They have it only on international passport. Inside the country, they have such a employee ID, so-called employee ID, which sends them to the corporation. And so probably they would be not happy after reunion of Western and Eastern Germany, which was actually proposed and proceeded with the help of USSR, which Russia is currently in an offspring of USSR and probably the descendant of USSR. So what they're saying is this situation in Transnistria, which is close to Ukraine, is also not very good, because Moldova is probably was leaning towards Romania and staying inside the EU and staying as a NATO member, and be ripped off from Transnistria, which is the Russian part. So they were concerned about that, and were concerned about Germany and Russia. So at this certain point, they knew that if Russia and Medvedev would be good enough to proceed with this situation, Obama will be sent back with their troops, and he will probably be defeated by Russian politics and strategy at that time. But Obama would be not Obama if he didn't do anything. So what he did is they provided this Stratford with the strategy what to do, and this guy was writing a book. His name is George Friedman. He is the founder and chief intelligence officer, financial overseer, and CEO of the private intelligence corporation of Stratford. So I'm also leaving you this link in this broadcast, so you can watch this video by yourself and understand what I'm talking about. He was talking, and what he's saying here is what we see right now. And this video is June 15, 2015. What he's saying, I was saying in my videos, like in last autumn and stuff like this, when I was talking about globalists starting the game, globalist part 1, and so on. So I'm not saying I didn't watch this guy, and maybe I'm really affected by what he was saying, but in fact, I'm agreeing with what he's saying, because what he's saying, we know here in Russia, although he was saying it in 2015, we know it in 2016, we knew it in 2014 and 2013, because Putin was telling you the same at Munich at 2008. So this guy was making his book in 2008, probably as a response to what Putin said. So he made this strategy, and what we see right now is developing of the strategy of the global affairs. Look at this title, Chicago Council of Global Affairs. So global affairs is just intelligence unit of globalists, which are really controlling most of the media, really controlling most of the CIA, FBI, and all the structures in different countries as an MI6 and stuff like that. They know what they're saying, and they are not ashamed of what they're saying, because they are so true in what they do. They think that they're so convinced that they're right, so they can say like that we buy different. Well, I won't discuss what he's saying. It's just for you to watch exactly what he says in this 10-minute video. So the goal is to prevent, the main goal of the United States is what he said, is to prevent Germany-Russian ally. And this is 2015. This one was in 2011. This one is 2015. And this is what we see right now. Let's say Russian gas pipeline, gas green light from Germany as US tries to kill project. So this is the ally that we're bringing through economics and tying Russia to Germany is not welcome in the United States. This is right now, it's 2018. And this is probably the case why every huge, let's say, oil price dump was after Russian actions. Look at this. 1st of August at 2008, when the war in Georgia versus Georgia was during in August of 2008. So the oil price dumped like from 114 to 98, and then it dumped up down to 45. This is Russian actions in 2014 when Russia entered and brought Crimea back. This is the same type of dump here. This is what they're doing to dump the currency flow to Russian economics, which is fully based on F Federal Reserve dollar bill system. I've been saying about this in video about Trump and dollar conspiracy if you like to watch it. So what we know is right now also the economics of the United States gets such a correction from the huge rise, the record high rise via Trump administration help, and he was bragging this too much, and that's why they set him up. And what they're doing is a huge dump right now. It's the largest dump since probably the crisis of 2008. So the same thing is going on right now. So so they don't want Russia and Germany alliance, and this is the result of their failure. And probably we'll see future actions which will be looking like a little dog barking, 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 but nothing happens. And the trade and the gas flows. So gas empire in the previous past was probably the same as the gas empire we know right now. It was controlling the whole Eurasian continent, and probably they were known as Great Tartaria, but a huge part broke apart, and it was known as the Holy Roman Empire, or what we know is right now Germany. And the countries nearby, of course, and one huge part was a British Empire and a Spanish Empire, which were controlling the fast expansion of um, broken apart pieces of previous empire, which was the Great Tartaria Empire and the empire before that. So, which was the probably the one that was gas empire. So all the star forts are the result of mining. So what they probably did, they were establishing a base which was powered by gas power, and that's why we see the many forts with 4-star whatever lights or rays, and the more complex with several rays, so with like 10, 20, 15 rays, whatever, and they were probably made after it. So so the first ones were 4 rays, and when the base is established, it's probably becoming a so-called citadel, and after it they built more perimeter walls, and it could even be looking like a gas pipeline like we see in Russia and Ukraine, and the signs of those huge pipelines with those angle breaks. And of course they could be used for defense after the pipeline was set up, because you're supposed to at least have a security on those pipelines, because it could be robbed by any intruder, and which is not good for a pipeline, you know. Okay, right now Ukraine is also a pipeline land, and Russia knew that something would be going on in Ukraine, because the revolution of Orange Revolution, this revolutions that were set up by US on the perimeter of Russia, also looking like the same type of strategy they were using to destroy the gas empire in the past. So surrounding, cutting up pieces, and telling the people that you are a different nation, a different language. They're doing it for years, not for one day. So this is just the same situation. So first they say you are Holy Empire, then you say you are France, then you say you're Germany, then you're Britain, and you believe everything because who are you after the mud flood? You're nobody. You don't have a home. You don't have anything. You're probably a kid, which is like 10 to 15-year old, and they can say you whatever you want. They can say, look at these big doors. They're so big because uh, we build them this way. But this is not the case, what we see. Okay. And that's why we see many wars in 19th century, which were totally harsh and violent. That's why we see many wars right now, because it's still developing. This situation is still playing. The game is still playing. It's not yet lost totally, and we have to believe that something will happen, something good can happen at least if we try to fix the situation. And we can do it if we spread the information uh, to the right people and not get caught or banned by Facebook or whatever. So I hope that I gave you an answer what I was trying to say when I was making the video about the gas empire, globalist, step one and step two. This is all connected. You have to understand this is not just for fun or hyping and politics. It's not my hobby to convince you that somebody is good and somebody is bad. It's not my job. You have to look at this videos that I give, make your own decision. I'm not sending you nowhere to make a revolution or anything like this. Just we're on information level. We're spreading the news and information. And I hope you never heard it because what I'm saying is not very mainstream. Okay, even in an alternative uh, community, nobody talks what I'm saying. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching, and I hope that we all be safe because we had a tragedy 25th of March in Russia where plenty of kids got burned in cinemas inside the Trade Center. This is really bad tragedy. Tomorrow we're gonna have a Black Day where we are sad. I'm gonna miss all the deceased kids. So I hope you be safe, stay safe, and see you later.